Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. Today, I want to talk about this watch right here, which happens to be, a fraternal twin, if you will, to this watch over here. This is the GR-B100-1A2. And this is the GR-B100-1A3. Now, about 2 years ago, I did an in-depth review of this watch right here. I had only had it for a few days, and I familiarized myself with the watch and the app, and then I made the video. And, I just watched that video earlier today just to see how well it holds up. And I'm very pleased with the video that I made 2 years ago about this watch. It's very comprehensive, and the information is all really good information. After using this watch for 2 years on a very regular basis, I'm still very happy with the old video I made about this. So I'm not inclined to make another in-depth video just about this watch. I will give you the link to the in-depth video on this watch, and just know it's the same module, same functions and features, just different colors. And so if you want all the detailed in-depth review, watch that other video. But the reason I wanted to talk about this watch, this blue one right here, is that, after I got this watch, I thought, I really like it. Maybe I'll try one of the different colors. There are 5 different versions of this watch as far as different colors. They all use the same module. It's module 5536. So if I look them up here on shockbase.org, I can see all 5 of them. And I can see that this green one here, this one has the normal LCD with dark characters against a lighter background. All the other ones have the reverse LCD, which would be lighter characters against a dark background. And generally speaking, I think that the reverse LCD is a little bit harder to read for me, so I tend to avoid that. So that's why I sort of decided to drag my feet all these years about getting the different color variations on this watch. But out of all of them, I decided the blue one was my favorite. So that was always kind of in the back of my mind. I'm going to get that blue one of these days, right? So several months ago, I saw this blue one was available at the Casio outlet store, outlet.casio.com. And I believe it was $198 at the time, which seemed like it's a pretty good deal, but not enough to make me just jump on it immediately. And after a little while, it wasn't available there anymore, so I kind of forgot about it. And I finally decided to get serious about it, and I started looking around, and what I found was several websites, both watch fan websites and also people who sell watches, were telling me that Casio has discontinued this line of watches, the GR-B100 watches. First, they said they were all discontinued except the blue one. Now there are indications that even the blue one has been discontinued. So that's why I thought I better get moving on this one and decide, am I going to get serious about getting this one or not? And as you see, obviously I did get this one. Found a pretty good deal. There was a guy on eBay that sold this one to me, and it was in new condition, so I'm very pleased with it. But I will tell you, if you're looking for any of these watches these days, any of the variations of this, you're going to find that the prices are going up. I know prices are going up on a lot of things these days, but you may find that they're a little bit more difficult to find and the prices are going up. So again, just if you want to get one, now would be a good time to get serious about it. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I found this one, and there's a lot that I like about this one. Basically, I like the fact that it does all the same things as this green one over here, and I really have enjoyed this one. So therefore, just to have a little spare here, different color, I like it. I'm glad I have it. Now, when I first got this, I don't know how long it had been sitting in a box, just on someone's shelf, not being sold. When I took it out of the box when I got to my house, it was completely stopped. So the battery was drained down to nothing. The hands were stopped at the 12 o'clock straight up position, and the LCD showed nothing at all when I first got it out of the box. And so I knew that since this is a tough solar watch, I should follow my own advice. I did a video about this, how to revive a tough solar watch when the battery's completely drained. So what I did is I took this watch and I put it on a countertop, and I also took one of my very bright LED video lights and I shined it right at the face of this watch. The nice thing about the LED video light is it's not very hot, but it is very bright. So I was able to get it right up close without overheating the watch but giving it lots and lots of light. And when I did that, the second hand went back to about the 57-second position and parked right there. And then I could see in this LCD, it was saying the word charge. So that was good to see that the watch was doing something, and it was begging for me to charge the watch. So that's what it does when you come out of a fully drained battery on this. So enough light to get it going there, but it still took a while. I walked away. I came back about 40, maybe 45 minutes later, and by then the watch was running. And it no longer said charge there. Everything looked normal. The power meter here was down around the midway point here on this power meter. So I knew that it had enough power to do things, even though I really wanted to charge it up more than I had. But it was enough to get going. So first thing I did was I got out the app with my phone and I started the G-Shock Connected app. And then I pressed and held this button here on the side to connect it to the app. And when I did that, in just a few seconds, it had connected to the app. I told the app to go ahead and accept the watch and make that pairing happen. And then it raced around, the hands raced around to show the correct time. And all of a sudden, this watch was showing the correct time based on the time zone that it got from my phone. So that was that. It was ready to go, all set to the right time. Then, since I was already in the app, I went ahead and set up some alarms and did a few things like that to kind of customize it to my liking. And I was ready to go. Now, interestingly enough, the next few days after I started this watch up, it was cloudy. And so I didn't get a good chance to kind of set it out on the patio furniture and let it get some really heavy sunlight to charge it up. But eventually I got it up to, almost the full charge right there. And so far, so good. Again, if you want to get into any other details on how to set this up, how to use the app, the multiple countdown alarms that it has, just a lot of great features, I would recommend you watch the in-depth review that I did of this watch here a couple of years ago. You can see there are some subtle differences. For example, these 5-minute markers here on the green one are just kind of gray, whereas here they stand out a little better with the, with that white right there. This LCD is what they call an STN display. So basically, there aren't a lot of Casio watches that use the STN LCD technology, but it just makes it a little bit easier to see, more of a high contrast display and a little bit easier to see at various angles. So I suppose when it comes to a negative display, that STN helps a little bit. But again, for me, I always prefer the the regular LCD for a nice, good, clear readout. But this one, again, not bad. I like it, and I will probably stop at just these two. I don't think I'll get the other variations of the GR-B100, but I think I'll be very happy with these two. Let's do a quick demonstration and show you what it does for the backlight. This has an automatic backlight if you set it up to do that, and so there you see there's both a little light that comes up down in the corner of the screen near the Bluetooth symbol, and also the LCD panel itself gets a little bit of a backlight there. So that's nice. And also let's do a quick demonstration of the lume. You can see I'm never super excited about the lume on my Casio watches. It does okay, but it's not as great as the very expensive and fancy watches that are well known for great lume. I'm satisfied, especially at this price point. So, the thing about these, okay, if they're being discontinued, it means that Casio wants you to buy the newer watch that they're offering, which is the GR-B200. So the GR-B200 looks even more rugged than these. And it's a nice looking watch. It has more features, generally speaking. It has, the barometer and the barometric altimeter. It also has a compass and has the thermometer built in. And like these watches, it has the Bluetooth connection, so you can use the app to set the watch. But the GR-B200 does not have the solar power feature. So that's another reason I decided to get on the ball and get a second GR-B100, because I really like the solar power feature. So I'll enjoy those, and some of you may enjoy the GR-B100, which uses a lithium battery that'll last a couple of years before you need to change it. But so it's all out there, a lot of great features out there. And of course, they're rugged and tough, and who doesn't love a G-Shock watch? Come on. But this was my chance to increase my collection with a familiar watch that looks a little bit different, and I'm really glad I have this one now. So again, I would suggest you start looking around. You can find these for somewhere between $200 and $300 right now, I would say. Prices are going up, as I've said. You could probably still find these through places like Amazon and some watch retailers online. I have had some really good experiences using eBay. So you can find these from eBay, both in used and new condition. Probably a lot of these would be shipped from Japan if you were to make those eBay deals on these guys. So, go ahead and do your research, and if you're comfortable buying things from overseas through eBay, like I said, I've had a lot of great experiences buying stuff from Japan through eBay. So you might still be able to find these if you want to get them now. All right, just a couple more things before I wrap up. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know I'm a huge fan of Casio's multi-band 6 method of setting watches to the right time. Now, this watch doesn't have multi-band 6. Instead, it uses the Bluetooth connection and the G-Shock connected app to set itself to the right time, right down to the second. So it is the equivalent of having an atomic time receiver built into the watch, but instead it just gets it through Bluetooth. And you can set up the app and the watch so that the watch will check itself 4 times a day and maintain that accuracy right down to the second. Now, the other thing you should keep in mind is if you don't like the idea of using the Bluetooth app, if you don't want this to be connected to your phone or your tablet, you don't have to use Bluetooth. This will run like a regular quartz watch with accuracy to within 15 seconds a month, and almost all of the functions that you could set using the app, you can also do right here on the watch just with a series of pressing buttons. I would, however, recommend that you go ahead and use the app because I think a lot of things are easier to set up using the app, a little bit quicker, and it's a nice feature. I've been using the app for a couple of years now, and I haven't found any downside to using the app. And every time I want to update the settings on the watch through the app, it automatically sets the time every time I do that, and it's been working really great for me. So just those things to keep in mind. And also, of course, look in the description of this video for the in-depth review that I made a couple of years ago that is still a great video. And I do hope that you will join me again in, I don't know, maybe a week or so for yet another new episode of The Good Timekeeping Show.